I had given this. Let me check. Let's simply search. Let me search by this. Uh, in last session, we had covered this JDBC, how we can use CRUD operations. We had covered. Also, we had seen that how we can create, read, delete, and all these things we can do, right? So I think as of standalone application, I am done. I will be starting web application from now on. So if anybody has any questions, previous till then, you can ask. Otherwise, I'm starting this web application sessions where we can develop the web application, and we can proceed. There are a few topics left, just minor few topics. Maybe I can cover that in last few sessions when we'll complete the overall courses. Okay, so it's a minor course, minor things which are left, which we can cover later, like some part of serialization. Okay, and few things related, I would say. Uh, how we can debug it. It's not a kind of coding, I would say. It's like how you can debug. It's just like a extra things what you can do with Eclipse or with Java, how you can debug the code if you are facing some issues, how you can resolve that such kind of problems. So I will be covering that. Any problem with JDBC connectivity, MySQL, how to connect, what is the uses, and anything, anyone would like to say anything? If not, then I'll proceed with web applications. No? Okay, great. So I'll start with web application. There is one more topic which is there in JDBC. I will cover with when I will be using the web application with JDBC to connect to the database and show it in the web page. Then I'll tell about that particular API. It's a small API we can cover in that. It's not it doesn't require a particular session for that. It's called the prepared statement. Instead of a statement, you can use a prepared statement. So that we can that I'll cover in when we will be doing that. So now we are shifting to a different kind of programming paradigm. I would say the perspective will change now. So as you can see here, as I was telling before, right, Java and JEE, right? So now we are no more will be in Java. We'll change to Java EE, which is as soon as I click on this, right, you will see that this options gets changed here. Right now, if you see problems, Java doc, declaration, console, these things are there, right? If I change to Java EE, you will see markers, properties, servers, data resource folders. So all these, this is the most important, I would say. I'll remove this guy from here so that, okay. So this server kind of option will come, and now you are in a web application perspective of Eclipse. So I would say I would first explain you what exactly a difference is between the standalone application and web application. The concept behind the web application is, these days whatever website you visit, whatever website, be it Google, Facebook, anything, right, it's all our web application, and it requires server to run on it. Okay, I mean that those applications cannot run on itself. It needs some kind of support. It needs some kind of a kind of a person who can carry those code and instantiate and all these things, right? So what particularly I would say, what are the things you can do with your web application. So what do? You generally open your web browser, right? So you open your web browser, be it Google Chrome, or Mozilla Firefox, or Safari, or Internet Explorer. That is called as a client. So when you open your browser acts as a client, okay, or you can say web client. So your browser is a web client. you type something like www.google.com. What actually you are doing this when you type www.google.com, actually you are sending a request to the google.com server. So internally, if you say core structure, it will go to first the DNS server. Now in DNS server, it will map it to the some IP address, right? So google.com has some kind of IP address, so maybe 147 146 or something like that. So now what actually that is, so suppose there is a web host. There is a web host, means I would say a server kind of a machine, an application, or server kind of server is running at that particular IP address. So maybe 146 137 or something like that, right? So that request will come here, okay, and here some kind of server will be running. Maybe there are many servers. The most famous and free is Tomcat. There are other like JBoss, Jetty, then WebLogic, then IIS server, Internet Service Server, something like that, Microsoft's, JBoss, I said, Glassfish. These are the web servers. A web server, what actually it does is it takes the request. So whatever request you send, right, it's called HTTP request, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So you send the HTTP request. So it's like HTTP request comes from the client to the server, and it carries some kind of data with it, that what page I want to say, what what action I want to do. This server Tomcat will be keep on listening on some port on this IP address. So 160, 146, 137 and all these things, right? So this Tomcat will be running on that. As soon as a request comes, the HTTP request comes, the Tomcat server parse that header. So request, HTTP request has some kind of, I would say there are two things mainly. One is called the header, one is called the body. So header contains that from where the request coming, from which IP address, from which city, from which country, what kind of browser is there, what is the username, password if it is required, and all these things, right, to access. And body contains the data. Suppose you want to you are registering something, right? You fill up the entire page and you click on register. All these data gets sent to it gets embedded in the body, and this HTTP request, it contains all these information. It carries over to that particular this. And how it happens, right? Maybe if you know the networking, right? That TCP, through TCP, it sends the packet. So packet wise it will go and reach to that particular server. Tomcat will parse that one, that data, HTTP request data, and there our application will be written. So this is what we will be writing. We will be developing web app, I would say web app. So this is where you will develop your code. So whatever the request comes, it will forward to our application, and our application must render that particular thing, do some request, do some logic, business logic, do some stuff, and again sends back to the response, that is called the HTTP response. And again, suppose it requires to do something like, okay, response, username created successfully, here is your username and password or something like that, it will show you, right? So that kind of data, again it will go into the, again it will have a header, it will have a body. Header will have the service server's data information, and body will have all the business logic data, and it will go and reach to your web browser. Your web browser is a HTML parser. HTML is the it's a hypertext markup language. Whatever the browser you open, that data what you see, it's always HTML. So your browser can only understand the data what is actually rendered as a HTML format. So HTML itself is a, I would say, kind of technology, UI side, what he said, user interface. So browser can render only the HTML tag, whatever the response which comes with HTML tag, and it displays to you. So if you say I would say something like So any questions so far? First tell me, then I'll tell you what exactly the HTML does and how the web browser understand that. Any question? This web, how actually the web server works, and how you, when you access the website, what are the things happens internally? And any questions so far? It's clear, right? Shweta, is it clear? Okay, great. So yeah, so this is actually the web, how it works. Now what I will do is I'll just these things doesn't require any kind of, okay, so we'll go to codes where I will write simply a new file. Okay, I will give it is a name as my HTML, and I'll rename it as a HTML. Okay, so once I do that, you will see that it becomes changed to some Google Chrome or something, right? If I click on this, nothing is appearing here. Now suppose I want to show hello world or something like that, I need to write HTML tag, then ends with HTML. I hope a few of you understand the XML format. So it's something like it works like something, and then there will have a body, then it will have a body. Okay, so everything any page you open, I'll just simply say I'll open Google and right click on this, go to view page source, click on this. As soon as you do this, you will find something like HTML. Yeah, you see here it starts with HTML, and then you will somewhere you will see body. Yeah, as you can see here, body, right? And all these data, whatever you will see, right? I don't know whether it's legal to do all this stuff. So you whatever you will see, right? You can see that these are the JSP sorry, JSP, I'm telling you, HTML code and JavaScript codes are there. Also any website you open, I would say any, better open Coursera. So the Coursera I opened, and you go page source, and you will see again the same thing. As you can see here, HTML it starts with, and at the end you will see it will end with HTML and the body, right? So every HTML page, whatever the website page you visit, it always starts with HTML, ends with /HTML. So it's called starting tag, this is ending tag, this is start tag, ending tag, right? And inside that you can write something like in a big header. H1 is for, I'm not going to teach you HTML because it's not a part of curriculum. It's a simple thing you can learn about. I gave you a link. I'll share you one link. You can go through. So that is it's like more like a UI. For a Java developer, you doesn't need to know about UI side. HTML also you doesn't need to know, but it's good you have a little bit knowledge, so you can go through the internet and always can find out. But server Java is some kind of server side programming. It's not UI side programming, so we will not be covering that. So I'm just giving you the basic idea, because I will be writing these programs and I will be using a little bit of that to show the. Now if I click on this, you will say hello world, it is showing, right? And if I click on this, right click on this, view page source, you will see HTML body, hello world, and this entire code is coming, whatever I have written, right? So for running HTML page, you doesn't need to install software or anything. You don't have to do anything. Simply write a text file, rename it to the HTML, put these tags, run it. It will run in your browser, because browser understands only HTML, and as you're writing your code entirely in HTML, it doesn't require any software, any server, any Java language, nothing. But here comes the problem. It's a static page. So tomorrow I want to change the hello world to hello what I say, hello Java or something like that, right? I have to go to the code and again change it, all these things. If I need to make some kind of changes, like suppose I'm running a business, and I keep on adding new products, and the page which lists the product, right? If it every time I need to add a product, I will go and change the HTML file and add it one new product. It will not be easy, right? I mean, it's going to the UI side and adding it, right? So it should be pretty dynamic. I should simply insert into the DB. It should fetch it from there and it should show it here. So these things you cannot achieve with simply writing the HTML code. You need some kind of other technology, be it ASP.NET, that is called the Active Server Pages by Microsoft, PHP programming you can do. These are the web application technologies. JSP, that is called a Java Server Pages, JSF, that is called Java Server Faces. Yeah, I think this is what I have pretty much done till now. So JSP we will be using Java Server Pages, and Java Server Pages, what actually it is, it's a combination of HTML code plus Java code. So wherever you need something dynamic, we will be using Java code inside that, and wherever we need some UI stuff, we will write the HTML code. That's the beauty it provides, that's the functionality it provides, JSP. So we will be using all these features of JSP. We'll writing the code inside this. So anyhow, you will see how we are using the Java inside that. But you should be knowing what actually the server is, how it will be running, all these things, right? Fine. So what I will be doing, as simply we will again create a new project, but this time the project will be different. It will not be simply a Java project, it will be dynamic web project. Okay, this option will come only if you have changed your perspective, number one. Number two, whatever the software you have installed, whatever you have downloaded, it should be Java EE, Java Enterprise Edition. Do not think about that it's a Java JDK or something. So make sure this is your version, Java Eclipse Java EE IDE for web developers. So this version, or I mean this release, you should be having. Okay, so new, go to the other, type here dynamic web project. Okay, click next, write your project. So my first web application. Okay, click on next, click on again next, select this generate web XML deployment descriptor, finish it. Okay, so if you expand it, you will see there are lots of stuff changed. So Java resources has come here, as you can see. The libraries is there, build, and these things you forget about. What is these junk things? Do not worry about it. There are two things you need to worry about. One is Java resources folder, where you will be writing all your purely Java code, nothing else, only the Java codes. What will be you will be needing, you will be writing here in SRC. And inside the web content folder, you will be writing either your HTML file if it's a static web application, and if you want Java JSP files, you will be writing in JSP file. And inside the web INF folder, whatever the dependency jars, as I told you, right, you will be needing, like to connect to the MySQL, you need MySQL connector jar, right? You can put into the library and you can get it. And web.xml. Now what is this actually? This web.xml is this file. Actually, when you run your web application for the first time, or whenever you restart your application or launch your application, web application, your server, whatever the server you will be installing, maybe Tomcat or all these things, I'll tell you in a while. Whatever the server you will be installing, maybe Tomcat or Glassfish or this one, right? This file will be read by that particular server, maybe Tomcat, right? So Tomcat will read first, it will read your web.xml, and it will see what is your first web page that it should display. Okay, so what should be the first page which your server should display? If someone hits the base URL of your web application, it should display some welcome page. So that's why if you see web.xml is containing Either it should be index.html, index.htm, or index.jsp, or HTML, or default.jsp. All these things, if any of this file is present in my web content directory, it will just display that. So what I will do is I'll quickly create one HTML file. So I'll say, okay, HTML file, I'll create index.html. Actually, the first page is known as an index page. So I written this index.html, and I'll write here hello world from Eclipse through web server Tomcat. Okay, so now this is okay. I mean, the HTML file is there. Now where is my server, right? So when you hit with your from your web application, right, how it should who will get the request? For that we need some kind of server. So we will be using the Tomcat server. So go to download Tomcat 8. Go to Apache Tomcat here. I'll share the link with you. Yeah, so go to this particular place. Again, as per your operating system, I think, let me check. This one is zip.gz. I think Sweta, if you're Apple, right, you can download this. I have never worked on Mac, so I don't have much idea, but you can just try once this one, tar.gz, just like Eclipse tar.gz. It should work, I think. So you 64 Windows zip Windows. Let me check embedded. Okay, just a second. For Mac. Yeah, I think that would be only right. Okay, so you download the star.gz. This is for only for Shweta. You need to download this one, and for you guys, if you have Windows, right, download this zip file. So once you click on this download zip file, it will download this Apache Tomcat 826.zip. I will not download this because I already have. Download this one, extract it. So I have extracted in my softwares, and you will see something like Apache. Yeah, so I've extracted it. Once you extract it, you will get something like this folder. That's it. You don't have to do anything. Extract it, copy this particular path, go to this particular this and copy the server's path. And from here you will see, go to this server location here and click on this particular location and select. By default you might not get this kind of option, so you will get something like this. So come here, Apache, and select Apache version 8.0. Let it be localhost, let it be the server name as this, let it be 8.1. Go to next. It'll ask you, oh my god, this is already added, so it will not show you here what to do. Okay, it's already added, so it will not show me here, because then server runtime. Yeah, once you click on that, it will ask you for location, something like this. Okay, you browse to that particular location, or simply paste your location, whatever the location you have copied, and click on finish, click on OK next. So it will come something like this, and then you can add your project. My first web application, click on add. It will come, it should be like come here, and then click on finish. Once you finish this, if everything goes fine, you will see here Tomcat version 8 server at localhost, and it is right now, it is stopped. So what it tells that Tomcat is running at localhost, but it's right now it's not running, it's stopped. And the application what it has been deployed is my first web application. So this my first web application is right now deployed on the Tomcat. By default, when I selected, it got deployed. So right now if I select this one and say start, okay, so you will see in the console these kind of message will come. At the end you'll see server startup in this, and if you go to server tab you will see started. Once it's started, go to the browser and type localhost colon 8080 slash my first web application. Okay, hit enter. Now what actually I have done is, right, so as you can see here, localhost 8080, this is something like www.google.com, www.facebook.com. As you are running this in your own system, you can give your own IP address. So as I'll tell you, 127.0.0.1 is something similar to that. So this is your own loop back IP address. It points to your own system. As my server is running here in my same system, I'm telling my browser that I'm telling my web client, the web browser client, that okay, go to this particular server on which is running on this particular host. This is called the host, and I want to access this application. Just check it whether this application is deployed or not, and just hit enter. So you hit enter this one, then you can see that it's actually showing you the index.html page, because in web.xml you will see that index.html page is a part of option of welcome file. So welcome file by default it will take as that one, so you can directly access that also. You can say index.html, it will land to the same page. So if you have suppose one another page, home.html, and you can say something like home. Okay, so now this actually this page, right, you can, what is stuck? Okay, so yeah, it will automatically get republished. So if you access now, so now even if you see the, if I don't give anything, by default it's calling index.html, not home.html. So access this, yeah. So as you can see here, home is coming, right, home.html when I hit enter, right. So this is how we set up the entire end-to-end. So our setup is done. So nothing else is required right now. Our setup is done. We can write dynamic programming where we can ask user to enter some details. We can do some calculations. We can do some stuff. Okay, so this setup is done. Any questions so far? You understood, you guys, right? I mean, how it works. Any question? So right now I didn't tell any till now. I haven't tell anything regarding Java. This is nothing related to Java. This is the general paradigm. This is a general programming structure web application. So don't think that okay, I don't know Java, how should I understand this? No, it's nothing to do with Java. I'm telling you. Till now, whatever I have covered, this is nothing to do with Java. This is fine. You can respond, no problem. I won't charge you for speaking.
Yeah.
Right? Is it complex? Because I am not getting any response from you guys. So is it complex or how is it? I mean, Jansi, Amika, Sweta, anything? Yeah, that is there, but see, in web application there is nothing like right now, till now. That's why I was telling it's not related to anything till now. Java will come when we will be writing the business logic. there only the Java will come. So till these things, it's a common across all the technologies, be it ASP.NET, C Sharp, or PHP or anything. It's common, common thing. So yeah, that's okay. Okay. What about you, Amika? Because you guys do not speak. I don't know. It's a very silent session. I have never been taken, sessions like this. I mean, it's always nobody responds to anything. Nobody asks any questions. I feel like, I don't know whether you guys are following or not. Okay, good. So no problem. If everything is fine, fine. Okay. So what actually, till now it's just purely a HTML file where you write your static codes, and you do not need to change anything, right? I mean, you are just simply uh, writing, whatever the message you are writing, and it's simply showing in your web page, right? There is nothing we achieved as a dynamic thing. So what, if I say about dynamic, what does it mean? Suppose I want to print, I have a array list. I think array list everybody knows, right? What is an array list? So I have an array list where I can where I have a list of users, and I want to display those users. So how we can do that, right? So it's just now we will go to the Java programming things. So we'll write package com dot jsp examples dot okay model. So here what I will do is create a class as a student, and a student will have uh, name, age, country. So these things has these three attributes it has, and I'll just write it to getter and setters for this. It's for getting the method, setting the method. It's nothing big deal about this. So we have three fields: name, age, and country. And whenever I need it, right, I can create the object of a student and get name, or get age, get country. If I call it, it will give me all these details instead of accessing directly name, age, or country, right? So I have a student class which can have these attributes. And one more package, I'll write it as a class, sorry, package com.jsp.examples student store. I'll call it a student store. You need to call it as a student store. And here uh, what you will do is that void you will return the list of a student. So you will return student get list of students. Okay, so we need array list of student okay. So what is its problem, man? don't know what is its problem. 1 second. Set method return type to. Oh man, I have written void also. Sure. Sorry. Okay. So yeah, what actually I'm doing, I have already created a class name as a student store. In that class I have a method name as a get list of students, and it will return the array list of students. What I will do is I will create a few students here. So let me just write the constructor as well. Constructors, okay. Yeah, so what you can do here is you can create students. So I'll write for loop, I'll write create 10 students. So int I equal to 1, I less than equal to 10, I plus plus. Okay, so yeah, so this is fine. Okay, so now student std equals to new student, and name will be something name hyphen. I'll just create the dynamic name something like this, and then the age will be let it be start from 10 plus I, and country let it be country hyphen country 1, country 2, country 3, like this it will come. Okay, so 10 times will run. So 10 object it will create, and it will add to the list. So list dot add, and add this student to the list. So we will have this list here, and whenever we call this a student store to get this student, right, we can easily get the 10 students here. So right now if I test it here only, you can always test it in your local here. You can test it by writing the public static void main and run this class. I'm not going to do that right now here. What I need to do is I need to show all these details, all 10 students into my index.html page. Right now it can't be the HTML page, so I'll remove all these things, no longer required. So I'll do one thing, I'll create one JSP file. So as I told you, you cannot write HTML code in that. So sorry, Java code in HTML file. So I'll put it as a name as index.jsp, and I'll put title as student database, and in body center I'll write something like h1 as student list. Okay, and here I need to get the, once again, okay, just there is some problem. Targeted runtimes like this, apply. Okay, yeah, so a student list, I'll get it, and now I need to print it here, right? In Java, what actually we do, right? You get the list of the student, you iterate it using for each loop. I had covered in that. So whatever the Java code you write in JSP file, right now these things are HTML code. Whatever you are seeing, these are the HTML code. So how you can write Java code is that this is called a scriptlet. So whenever you need to write something Java code, you start with this percentage less than sign and percentage greater than sign. This should be the open bracket, this would be end, and in between this Java code you can write it. So whenever you need to write the Java code, you need to write something like this here. So what I need to do is I need to display the students details, right? So for that I need to create the object of a student store, and call this method to get it, right? So I'll say student store store equal to new student store. Let me check that whether our spelling is correct or not. What is the problem? Okay, so I think I have to import it here. Import equal to, so whatever the I'll put this one. Okay, so now I think it should go. Why com.jsp.this. Let me see. Oh, sorry. So this should be name of package. So where exactly this it will class find the class, right? We have to define that particular location dot this name. Okay, so now as you can see that, right, this error has gone. So I'm telling that, okay, import this particular class. So instead of doing that, I think if you do something like com dot this dot star, it will import all these why it is not working here. Dot star, it should have worked. Just let me clean the project, maybe. No, some issue with that. Anyways, fine. So this one is okay. Again, you can import the model and student. So we'll remove this. Okay, so you need to get the students list, right? So array list. For that you need to import array list as well. So here you can write java dot util dot array list, and array list of student list equal to new store dot get student object list. So this is store object I'm creating of this particular class. I need to call this method to get all these students, right? And the student list is as a array list of a student, right? So I am calling that method store dot get all these students, and now I can print it. So as you can see here, for student s colon list, this is how we write it. And again I'll start this. I'll just if something is going little crazy, just let me know. But slowly it will be fine. Just bear with me. So I'll write something h3 tag, and here I'll write equals to s dot get name, then s dot, again you need to write it. So get name, after that you need to what is the problem, just let me see. So s dot get age, get country. Okay, that's it. I mean, nothing else has to be done. What I'm doing here, I'm calling this a student. I'm creating the object of a student store, and then calling the get list of students, and then iterating over it. So first student, second student, all these will come, and printing these names. So name, this is age, and then the country. Okay, so let's see. Restart this. So restart, you write something like a restart. So it's done. Any error has come? Let me check it. Protocol handler fail, cannot recover key. Okay, maybe this is something related to Java key or security. Let it be. Okay, so if I run it, as you can see here, student list, student name, name 1, age, it's starting with 11 because 10 plus 1 11, country, then this, as you can see here, the entire list is coming, right? It doesn't look good, I know that. But I am just talking about the dynamic things here. What is dynamic is happening. So if I increase, suppose it could have been your HTML page. To print all these things, you have to write all these codes in your HTML page, but you are not doing that, right? You are simply calling this particular method to get the student, and you are getting all these data from there. So it becomes good for you to understand that how dynamic you can make it, just not for example, not for HTML, but using the JSP. If you increase it to 20, that's it. Nothing else has to be done. Only you need to redeploy your application. So redeploy it, restart again, and you don't have to do anything at all. It will print you the 20 students. As you can see here, it is going till 20, right? Country 20, that means till 20, it is showing you. Okay, so this provides a very dynamic features. I haven't covered most of the things yet. Before this, before I end up today's session, I just want to cover something like, suppose I'm creating one registration page where a student can put their same thing, I mean age, country, and name, and I want to store it and display the list of students. So let me so what I will do is, I'll create one page as register page, uh, register.jsp. Okay, and I'm just showing you one example. Do not worry much about the syntax and all these things. I'm showing you what are the things we can do, and then slowly I'll because one thing, one day only I'll tell you all this stuff, right? This is what, this is this. It won't be good. So I'm just showing you how the one page interacts with another page, how they forward the data to each other, and all these things, right? So registration page. Okay, so a student registration page, I am giving the title is registration page. I'll create two input box here, which will take the three input box: username, age, and country. So in center, what I will do is, I'll write input type equal to, these are all HTML text. Don't these are not this is all HTML what I'm writing. So if you do not think like it's something related to Java, okay, you need to understand the behavior of web application, how it works. Name equal to student name, then yeah, so this one is okay. Okay, and then after that name, okay, so a name, then student name we had given. So enter your name, then there will be one field as a second thing was age, right? Enter your age, and then the third one would be enter your country, and this will be your age, this will be your country, and that would be no name only, it would be big. So name, age and country, there are three fields we have, right? So as you can see here, it has three fields: name, age and country. So to store that object, I'm asking the user that okay, register with all these three details, and then I'll say okay, uh, input again, type type equals to submit, and then name equal to submit, value equal to register. Okay, so this will be my page. If you just want to like to know, you will see, just 1 second. You can run in this way also. Okay, anyway, so register.jsp. So let me open this register.jsp. So if I open register.jsp, you will see there are three input box has been created: enter your name, enter your age, enter your country. And if I click on register, right now it's not working, but you will see that it will go to the register code, where it will add to the the register list, and it will say okay, registration has done or something like that, and it will you will be able to see that in that. Okay, so this is a button, this is input box, these are called the input box in HTML. So three input box is there, and these three should contain the data regarding that. And to handle that, what we need is one more thing is there, which is called the servlet. These things I will be telling you everything, do not worry about what I am writing all these things, but right now just bear with me what I am doing. I'll show you end to end, and then I'll explain you the code. So just a second, what name I've given, register. Okay, so new servlet, okay, so slash register is the name, got me that. So I'll tell you about the servlets later, just get, okay, so get writing here will retrieve all these username, pass sorry, this whatever the name is telling, right? Name, age and country will register slash register URL. So this will be called, and as this is the do get, so whatever the get I am doing, right, it will call the do get. I'm just right now I'm telling you all this briefly, but I'll explain you all these things. This is what I will be taking through 3 sessions for that only to explain. I'm overall just I'm telling you. So string name was to request dot get parameter, and I'll put as a name. So here name will come, string age equals to again request dot get parameter, and then age, and then again country request dot get parameter. So what I am doing is, right, whatever the name I have given here, that this field, this input, right, the name of the input field is name, age is age, and country is country. I am just querying that with this this HTTP servlet request, right? Whatever the request will come, as I told you right before, that HTTP request contains the data what I am sending. So your browser will be sending these informations, name, age, and country, as you can see here, right? So this age, name, and entry you will be sending through the HTTP request, and the HTTP request will be coming here, and the way we get it, right, as a request dot get parameter, put that name, element name, and you will get in your string name, string age, and string country. So I need to convert this as a integer. So int age int equal to integer dot %, and I'll convert this as this one. Okay, so we have got this information, so I can even print out here. Let it be name got from the web browser, or you can say client at server side. So this is your server side code what I am writing here, sorry. So the name is this, and then age, what you got is age int, and then country, what you got is country. So let's see whether it works or not. Okay, what I will be doing is I'll be running here, and so let me run it again, and let's see whether the request is going there or not. So run on server. So my console here, it should be printing all these data whatever I have written as a system.out.println. I'll just clean this up, and let me send a request here. So I hit this URL register.jsp. It is coming this, so I am putting as my name Diwakar, then age is 25, and then country is India, and I click on register. Okay, as you can see here, if I'll come here, okay, my god, nothing has happened. What happened? I don't know. Submit equals to register. It should have been printed here. Just a second. I think the name method is a form name method action. It should have worked. Let me see again. So register dot JSP. Let me click. Yeah, now it is working. Okay, yeah, there was some problem. Okay, no problem. So now if I put it Diwakar, and then age as 25, and then country as India, whatever. So this is your web browser, right? What is this? This is my web browser, right? My Chrome web browser. I'll simply do something like this. I open my web browser. I say okay, hit this the HTTP :/ this host, and I think like it's on remote, but it's right now in my local system running this application register.jsp. I hit enter. It opens this page. I say okay, Diwakar, age as 25, and then country as India, and I'll submit it. Register, right? As of now, it's nothing showing because I haven't returned anything. But if you'll see here, you will see name got from the web browser client at server side is Diwakar, age as 25, India as a country. So I am receiving the ID, so data which is sent from the web browser to my server, and this server could be located at Google Office, or maybe Facebook office or somewhere, and you are requesting this from here. So just assume that this web browser, sorry, web server and the code is not here in my laptop. If it is in somewhere in US on some server it is running, so you only need to get the location of that. You need to get the IP address of that or some web host, and you simply hit that with that, and you will be able to get this. This is very fascinating thing what we use it daily purpose. We don't think much, but this is actually what happens under the hood. And once you get the username and sorry, students details, right? So you're getting the details here. You need to get the, sorry, yeah, you need to store the data into the student store, right? So you need to call this, and I'll remove this now. I'll so I can do something like I'll get the whenever I can add this here. So let me do something like student store. Creating one method as get instance and student store. Sorry. Okay, so public uh, void add, or I would say register register student, and register student, and then okay, I had removed the array list part. Sorry, I should have the students array list of student. Okay, so I'm making it the file so that nobody can change it. And what we can do is we can, whenever a new student gets here, right, we can student new student. So whoever is coming here, right, we can simply do list dot add, and whoever the new student comes, we can simply add it here. That's it. So nothing else than that. And we should have one more method, which was it was calling here. So array list, no, from UI page we were showing, right? So student, then okay, fine. So index.jsp, I was showing that get, I think this is what I had written. Anyways, okay. So this is actually will provide the same thing, but I know I was doing this register.java, right? So here whatever the data I'm getting, a student std student or new student, I'll create the one student object, and I will set that new student with that. What is this? What is the problem here? Okay, what is the name comma is int comma country, and we can call this uh, student store, right? So a student store dot get, sorry, 1 second. Okay, so student store dot get instance dot whatever the method is there, right? List student register student dot new student. So what I'm doing is I'm calling the getting the object and then registering the new students, and I would say something like new student is added. Okay, let's see how it how it goes. So we add it, and then if we display it, right, it should be okay. So whenever we see the index page, right, it should show the students what we have added. It should not show something we haven't added. So let's see how it goes. So once you see, today's session just kind of demo session for us, this one, right? Do not worry about the. Okay, so right now if you see, student list is showing nothing. It's empty, right? Nothing is there in this one. So what I will do is called, I will register dot JSP. Once I do this, I'll write Divakar, then 25, then India, and say register. It's saying added. Okay, so if I say added, so if I go to localhost, let's go back and refresh it. Oh man, what is the problem? Student is added, but new student is added. Oh, okay, sorry, there is some problem here. Just hold on, one mistake. I'll tell you what was the problem later. Just let me first get it working. Okay, as you can see here, now it is coming, right? So again, if you want to add it, one more student, suppose this is there, and you want to register dot JSP, and suppose you write Amika 22 or something. Okay, so maybe US or something. So register, it's saying added. So let's check it. Yeah, so as you can see here, Amika 22 USA is coming. If I want to again add someone else, okay, so register. Let me refresh this page here. Yeah, it keeps on adding, right? This is what actually the feature it provides. So this is what end to end. What are the things we will be doing right now? I'm persisting the things in the what I say, in memory only, but we will retrieving from the database, and then we will be displaying. I'll tell you about all these how the communications happen, what is the entry point, and all these things. Today I just showed you this is how actually we need to develop the application, right? So any question? I know it's a little bit kind of complex, or maybe you might be thinking what is happening here. I haven't done many big things here till now. Big thing will be coming up later, But this is overall what actually happens. I just wanted to give you a idea of how it works. Maybe 1 2 sessions we will take on this, and you will understand. Is that okay? Yeah. Amika Agency, are you there?